Look, Nas, I know you made Illmatic or whatnot, and I respect that, but we got rules to this shit. You can't say your album's done, then take 2 years to drop the shit, and then the day it's supposed to come out, the shit don't come out until the day after because the Wi-Fi at your label is whack as fuck. You gotta get it together. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews Hip Hop Data. We got an album review today. We're gonna talk about the brand new album that just fucking dropped from one of my favorite MCs of all time, who's finally back with a new album. Even though we said it was done like 2 years ago, you lied, nigga. Maybe you was just done writing the shit and you just jumped the gun and made a song with Khaled. I don't fucking know, but finally, after all this time and all this waiting, even after it was supposed to come out, we had to wait another day. I don't know what the fuck was on with your Wi-Fi. You need to get some better Wi-Fi now, so figure it out. I don't know, maybe Kanye had the plan. It's all good. We here. This nigga's back. He dropped some new shit. We gonna talk about it. Finally, talking about the new album from Nas entitled Nasir. That's it. I mean, it's quick and to the point. Just slap your name on it. Put his name and then his real name on the shit. And that's what it is. Okay, cool. I see what you're doing, Nas. Now, if you listen to hip-hop at all, you know who the fuck Nas is. Nas is a legend. He is an OG. He is one of the GOATs. He has made Illmatic, which is probably one of the most classic hip-hop albums of all time. But this album right here, Nasir, is his 11th studio album. And it is the follow-up to Life is Good, which came out a long fucking time ago. I don't know. It was a while ago. It was a good-ass album. But Nas has been putting things out for many, many years, a lot of great records under his belt, and he has one of the longest lasting careers of any current hip-hop artist I mean, like, there's not many people who have lasted as long as Nas and it's still relevant and people still want to hear what they have to say. So now let's see if Nasir is a dope-ass album that lives up to all of the anticipation and all the hype and all of the wait, or if sometimes when you say your album's done, maybe you need to just go ahead and say it's done, as in like, I'm done writing this shit because it's fucking whack and I ain't putting nothing else out. Go listen to Illmatic, bitch. That's what he should have said. Let's talk about the shit. Now, when I first popped in this album and tuned into the production, which is all handled by Kanye West, yes, Nas then jumped into the good music boat and got a little taste of that good music flair, the same that Pusha T's been doing, and Ye and Kids See Ghosts. Nas has his own 7-song, fully Kanye-produced project, and it's right here. And when I popped it in and I listened to the production, once again, this production is better than what Kanye gave himself on Ye. I don't know what the fuck, whatever. Maybe because it's Nas, he wanted to, you know, give him a little something good, but the production on here is really, really dope. Now, here's the thing. It's not as amazing or as mind-blowing as I thought it would have been, but it is some of the best Nas production we've probably gotten in a long time, and it really does fit with Nas well, and it's something different for Nas to go over. Kanye really chops up a lot of different samples and a lot of different loops on here. He does a good job giving Nas a real lush, well-layered production on here with some cool little chops, good breakdowns, hard-hitting drums, nice instruments here and there, and it really works out well. And overall, the production, though I don't have to say it's fantastic, I think that the production, to me personally, y'all, the production on Daytona and even on Kids See Ghosts kind of beats Nas's album out in a little bit. There are some beats on here that I thought were really, really dope, but there was nothing that really blew me away or was like, oh my God. And once again, I heard the rumblings from the listening party that everybody said, where they said, yo, this is Nas's best work and this and stuff like that. So when I hear that shit, I'm thinking like the moment that I cut the album on, I'm gonna hear some mind-blowing fucking production to go along with Nas's lyricism. And unfortunately, for me personally, I thought the production was good. It worked for Nas, but it just wasn't out of this world like some people made it seem. And Kanye, again, just didn't really give us what I thought he was gonna give us. But on Nas's side, I will say that he did do well with the production that Kanye did give. Now, when it comes to Nas, we all know that Nas is an elite level MC. Very, very few can rival his lyricism and his songwriting ability when it comes to just bars and just wordplay and everything like that. And on here, Nas has not missed a step. In all 7 songs, he really just comes through and just gives us that Nas that we know and have loved over the years. He touches on so many different things, from personal issues to political issues to issues within the black community, issues with, you know, financial responsibility and wealth and things like that. Pretty much just giving you just his perspective on all these different things that goes on within his life, but also within the world. And Nas has been doing that ever since the start of his career, so it's really no different that he's continuing to do that on this project. And he sounds really good on these Kanye beats. He sounds comfortable. He really fits in the pocket with a lot of these beats. And there are some beats on here that really just, you know, you wouldn't expect Nas to go over, but that's the good good thing about Kanye producing this project, because he really just gives Nas some really different sounding instrumentals to really do his thing over, but it still sounds like Nas at the end of the day. Now, the same thing when I said with the production, Kanye really didn't give anything mind-blowing. The same thing with Nas. Nas gave us what I would expect to get from Nas, but I don't think that Nas really gave us anything out of this world or super crazy outside of what he's done in the past. But I will say that overall he gave us some really solid songs, and I like the conceptual part of this album as well. Each song represents one of the 7 deadly sins in some way, shape, or form. So I really like how Nas took that concept and he applied it to so many different things, both in his own life as well as in society, and it came off really well for the most part, but I just didn't find anything super duper memorable from this album. And I think that comes from the fact that it's a short album. When it comes to Nas, I think Nas needs a little bit more time to really just flesh out ideas and what he wants to say. And in this 7-song project, which only clocks in I think about 26 minutes, I feel like Nas just kind of got cut short from being able to really flesh out what he wanted to do and what he wanted to accomplish with this project. So it's really good. It's a dope project, but I feel like it just falls short of its full potential with it being so short within itself. And I know y'all Nas fans are gonna get on me like, this motherfucking album is great, Granddad. What the fuck are you talking about? Look, I've heard every single Nas album ever created ever. I love Nas, but I'm also an honest motherfucker. And I gotta say that compared to other Nas projects in the past, I would say this one is not his worst, but it's also not his best. It's like a good middle ground for me. It's probably one of his strongest in recent memory, but I will also have to say, like, I just feel like with the hype and attention and the production that was gonna be given to him, I felt like I expected a lot more from this project than what I really got. It's dope, but it's not fucking mind-blowingly classic dope. I hate people saying this shit's fucking classic. It came out fucking 2 days ago, 3 days ago. It's still the first week, goddammit. Chill the fuck out. And another thing that I realized about this album is that there are quite a few features on here as well, especially for a 7-song project. I think there's only 2 songs where Nas is completely by himself, but the features on here do come through and do their damn thing, but I do feel like it's kind of a lot of features on here for a 7-song project to me personally. But he's got Puff Daddy on here, 070 Shake, Kanye West, even though he's uncredited on the project, he's on there as well with a verse. The Dream comes on 2 songs, and also Tony Williams is on a song singing as well on the hook. So most of them are hooks, or, you know, things that have to do with whatnot. Also, Puff Daddy comes in with sort of like his Puff Daddy, like, you know, dialogue, where he kind of does this, you know, thing where he just pretty much talks his shit. 070 Shake does the hook, and then Kanye is the only other rapping verse on there. But Nas still is at the forefront of this project, and you do hear more Nas than anything, but I do think that he could have scaled back a little bit and gave us some more solo Nas records, especially with it being so short, and I feel like that kind of takes away from things as well. But I don't hate any of the features on here. I think they all come through, they do their damn thing, but I wish we would have got more solo Nas tracks than what we got. That's another little gripe that I have about this project. Now, you know about the top 5 tracks, y'all, but I can't do it once again because it's 7 songs, and you know these motherfuckers don't care about my shit, so what the fuck? So you know what it is? Go through the songs, favorite 3, that's what we're gonna do. So the first track on the project is Not For Radio, and this is pretty much the project that I think represents the sin of pride, and this is pretty much Nas just pretty much saying like, yo, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, this is Nas season is back, he's just proud to be back in the game. He's got fucking Diddy or Puff Daddy or whatever the fuck he wants to call himself these days talking this shit, and he's pretty much dropping knowledge. He's talking about how Abe Lincoln didn't, you know, emancipate us, pretty much it was us that did it. He just, you know, pretty much signed the paper off, and also how, you know, Ronald Reagan had fucking Alzheimer's and shit, and pretty much how the first black president wasn't like the only, it was a whole, I mean, pretty much Nas just drops all these knowledge bombs on you within these verses, and he's pretty much just summarizing the fact that we as black people are the most powerful people and the most influential people in the world, and we're proud of that, and he's proud of that. And he says, I think they're scared of us because of all the things that they do to kind of hold us back and keep us down, because we're so fucking great, and the things that we do are so fucking influential, and they kind of move the world and pretty much shape how things go. It's a terrifying thing for the powers that be, that we have so much power and influence while they still try to keep us down. So it's a dope intro. I like the beat on there. It's this opera, really ominous beat with really cool, just hard-hitting drums. Diddy on here talks his shit. I mean, I wish he would do a little bit less of that, but it's all good. I like 070 Shake on the hook, though. I think she sounds good on there, and Nas does his thing. So it's a good opening track, very solid. Didn't really blow me away, but it was very, very good, and I really just enjoyed it overall in general, but it wasn't like mind-blowing for an intro. The next song, Cops Shot the Kid, features Kanye West, and honestly, y'all, when I first heard this song, the beat annoyed the shit out of me. Now, big respect to the fact that Kanye chopped up Slick Rick's children's story and he used the cop shot the kid part, but he just pretty much repeated cop shot the kid, cop shot the kid, cop shot, over and over again. That's the whole beat. And when I first heard this shit, I was like, this shit's fucking annoying. Like, I can see if he did that on the hook part, but he did that shit through the whole fucking beat. And after I heard it a few times, I kind of warmed up to it and I kind of got cool with it, but it was just annoying as fuck the first time. And he also has a cool Richard Pryor sample in the beginning that builds up to it, which is really cool, and a Richard Pryor scream that kind of fills it out as well. But the beat in general, it's like an old school throwback beat. It's really cool, but that Cop Shot the Kid sample is just too much at times. I'm cool with it now, but at first I was like, that's just fucking annoying, and it really distracted me from listening to what Kanye and Nas had to say. But the song itself was just talking about police brutality, the sin of wrath, and the wrath of the police onto black people, and he's just pretty much talking about their thoughts on it. And also Kanye kind of in his verse kind of talks about both sides. It's like the cops, yeah, they're doing this, but it's also these cops are living in fear and they want to go home too, so they're afraid of these black people, so they shoot these black people in fear of their own lives so they can go home. But at the same time, it's fucked up because they end up making bad judgment calls, and you know, it's all fucked up in the end of the day, and someone's gonna end up dead. So it's a really dope song, really dope concept, but I just think the beat at this, I think Kanye could have chopped that beat up a little bit differently, a little bit better, and had that sample had more impact if he would have just kind of like kept it to the hook, and rather than having it go through the entire song. But it's an okay song. I didn't love it, but I do like the sentiment, I do like the concept, and I do think that Nas and Kanye came through with some really dope verses, but that beat could have just been scaled back a little bit for me. The next song, White Label, was a dope song. I think it lends to the sin of gluttony, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it sounds like. But basically, it's Nas talking about, like, you know, he doesn't want that like fake shit around him. He wants the finer things. He's pretty much just talking about how he wants to just, you know, appreciate the things that are white label or the top of the class or the top of the line. The beat on here is really dope. I like the sample. I'm not sure what the sample is, but it sounds like some like old school like superhero-ish type sound shit. Kanye did a good job on the beat. One of my favorite beats on the project, actually. And I just like the whole vibe of the song. And it's pretty much Nas just illustrating that how he's a glutton for all these things that he desires and he wants and he just likes to have in his life. So it's a cool concept, cool song. The beat on here is dope, and it just comes off very, very well. The next song, Bonjour, features Tony Williams, and this one lends to the sin of lust, I believe. And it's pretty much just talking about how Nas has lust for so many things, whether it's women, whether it's fine, expensive dinners or trips or anything that's pretty much, you know, things that aren't really spiritual, but just more physical. And he just really just loves that lifestyle that he's just built for himself. And even though he knows that it really doesn't go anywhere or ends in a really good path, he just still continues to lust over these things because that's just what he's used to in his life. And the beat on here, I really think it's cool. It's like a laid back vibe with the beat. It sounds like very luxurious in a way, but I mean, I really didn't care too much for this song that much. I thought it was an okay song. It was cool. I didn't hate it, but I did like the actual theme of it. I like what Nas was saying, but everything else as far as presentation wise was just mad to me. But I do like how Nas spin the whole lust thing with his own life and how he just pretty much applies it to what he likes to do and how he lusts over these things and he just can't stop no matter what. But I mean, he's got the money to do this shit, so why the fuck not, right, Nas? The next song, Everything, is another one of my favorites on here. I love the beat on here, and actually has The Dream and Kanye West. Kanye is not listed on any of the features, but he's also features on the hook as well. He does some singing on there. I mean, he be singing. I mean, The Dream is better, but I mean, Kanye, he tried to hold it down. But what I really like about this song is the whole concept of greed and the sin of that that's connected to the song. Basically, he's saying that if I had everything that I ever wanted, then it's gonna just like make my life better. But he also has a flip side to it where he says like, yeah, he has had everything in his life and he still wants more. He still wants more, even though he has everything he could have ever thought of. He still has this need to be greedy for things, to have this greed for things, and it never ends. It's like a never-ending greed within himself, and he also within society and people. So I like that concept. I like the beat on here. It's very soulful. It really works well with the whole concept. And even though Kanye's singing is a little meh, I can deal with it. But The Dream on here sounds great, and overall, it's one of the strongest songs on the project. The next song, Adam and Eve, is a really dope song as well, and it lends to the sin of sloth and pretty much how Nas has become sort of like complacent or sort of put into this routine where he's like at this certain status and he's just used to doing certain things over and over again or just in a normal state. And he kind of feels like he's gotten sort of lazy or complacent in ways because he's at the highest point that he feels like he can be at in his career, and he just gets kind of lazy and he just really doesn't want to do much. Probably why the fucking Nas album was done but not done, nigga. 2 years? Shit. Sloth. That's the reason probably why. But it's a dope song. I like the concept. I like the beat on here. It really sounds good. And the whole concept of the whole Adam and Eve and like, you know, you take a bite of the apple and whatnot, he kind of plays and ties that in as well. So it's really dope. I like how it just comes out, and it's a nice song. And the last song, Simple Things, lends to the sin of envy, which I believe is pretty much what Nas is talking about within himself. Is like people envy him and what he has, but he really just wants to just enjoy the simple things in life. So it's kind of like this crazy thing where people look at Nas as this GOAT, as this rich motherfucker. Everybody just envies what he is from a good or a bad perspective. And Nas is looking at it from as like, yeah, I have all this stuff, but I really just don't envy me because I really just appreciate the simple things in life, and so should you. And that's a really, really dope concept. He talks about how he just appreciates his family, the people who he came up with, him being able to do what he wants for a living, him being able to, you know, make the music he wants and have platinum plaques without really having to conform himself to a mainstream sound. And that's the things that he really just really values over everything else. So it's cool to see that he really gives that perspective, and he says that you shouldn't envy me for these things because in general, like, the best things in life are the simplest things, and I can agree with that. Only thing about this song that I really don't like with it being the closing song is that it ends kind of just abruptly. It just like kind of ends and that's it. Like, it ends with his last line where he talks about his daughter, which I think is cool, but it doesn't really give a sense that the album is just done. It just stops and then that's it. But that's the only thing about it. But I do like the song a lot. I just wish it would have ended better. But the beat on here is really dope, and the whole concept and the lyricism that Nas displays also is very, very solid. And that's all 7 songs, y'all. And my favorite 3 out of those 7 I would have to say is White Label, Everything, and Simple Things. I think those are the 3 strongest songs on here. But I think the entire project here is a solid Nas project. I think it's very, very good, but I do not think it's a classic. I do not think it's mind-blowing. I just think it's really, really good for what it is. I think Kanye gave Nas some very solid production to work over. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't amazing and mind-blowing, but it was really good, and it worked out well for Nas. Nas's lyricism on here is on point. It's at 100 as always, but I just feel like the songs themselves just weren't as amazing as they should be. There really were no like super memorable songs that really just stuck with me 100%, and this album really just didn't stick with me as like I thought it would have. Now I will be going back and listening to my favorites here and there, but I don't think that I'm gonna be putting this up as like my top 3 as far as Nas albums are concerned. I think it's just like a good, I mean, people gonna hate me for this, y'all, but I gotta be honest, I just, when I heard it and I've listened to this album I don't know how many times, over and over and over again, and I just end up with the same feeling. It's like, it's really good, but it's not as amazing as people are making it seem, and that's what it is. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that Nasir is a very solid, well put together album that just really isn't as amazing or as classic as people are making it seem. All I'm saying is that the beats on here are cool. Kanye did a really solid job on the beats. Some of the beats here are really, really good. Some are just okay to me, but I didn't hate any of the beats, and I think they work well for Nas's style and his flow and his cadence. As far as Nas is concerned, he is on point with his lyricism. His subject matter is good. I like how he tied in the 7 deadly sins with the concepts, but these songs here are just not amazing. Like, there are some good songs here, like the 3 songs I like were really, really good, but then the other ones were just, you know, really cool, but there were no like mind-blowing moments on this project for me, and I just feel like it could have been done a lot better if Nas had more time to really execute his thoughts and his plan and his concepts. I don't think a 7-song project from Nas really works well for him. I think he needs more time to execute what he wants to do, and after 2 years of time, I really wish we would have got a longer album from Nas. I mean, yeah, Kanye producing the whole thing would have been great no matter what, but I think if he would have gave us 7 more songs, at least 12 songs, we would have got a better showing than what we got here. I just feel like this album was rushed. It was too abrupt. It didn't end the way it should have ended. It should have ended better, and it just, I mean, it just isn't as memorable as I wanted, but I did enjoy it, and I didn't hate it, and I can't listen to it front to back, so there it is. So all I gotta say is that for me, Nasir is not Granddad approved, but you know what? I'm kind of stuck, y'all. I really don't know what to give this. I'm like on the fence. Let me... Jesus, Nas, why you do this to me? It's not Granddad approved, and I just don't feel right giving it... I feel right giving it this. Y'all might hate me, but fuck it, I gotta be honest. It's not Granddad approved, but I'm gonna give it a Granddad recommended. Not a very highly, just a regular Granddad recommended. And that's because, y'all, this album is good, but it's not amazing. And I feel like this album lost a lot of its potential being so short. And I feel like with Nas, I hold him to a high standard. He's given us some of the, you know, he gives us one of the greatest albums of all time, but some really great work over the years. And I feel like after waiting for so long for us to get an album like this, we needed more. We need another album out of him real soon, or we need, like, I don't know what the fuck we need, but I don't think this is just enough to satisfy what we expected from Nas. And I think with Kanye on the boards, with, you know, the concept that he had. I think it could have came off a lot better and a lot more memorable, but there are some great moments on here. Lyrically, Nas is on point. The production on here works for him, but it just isn't anything that's like, oh my God, it's not anything that's gonna stop time, in my opinion, and that's what it is. I mean, y'all, this is tough, y'all. I feel bad because I'm a super Nas fan, but I gotta be honest. So don't hate me. And if you hate me, fuck you, nigga. That's what I think about this shit. So that's what it is, y'all. I got nothing more to say. Nasir, it's Granddad recommended. I feel so dirty saying that, but I gotta be real. I gotta keep it 100 with y'all. Maybe next time, Nas. Maybe next time. Flip it. Alright, y'all, that's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. You probably gonna thumbs down the shit out of this video, but fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Tell me what you think of the new Nasir album. Like I said, I really like this album, y'all, but I don't love it, and I didn't even love it enough to give it a very highly. I just felt like there was so much more this album should have done for me that it didn't do. I mean, and it's just like, I'm in the middle with this shit. I am so in the middle with this shit. If it was longer and we got some more good songs out of here, it would have got bumped up, but that's what it is, y'all. I mean, fuck, I gotta be real. I gotta be real. I'm gonna go to sleep comfortably knowing I told the truth, though. So that's what it is. Previous videos on the side was my latest single. Check that out, show us some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen, button below. Woolly Reviews twice a week, as well as the gaming videos. Just dropped the new God of War. Check that out. Also check out Let's Talk About the Shit. All the other shit in the description below. And I got nothing more to say. So until next time, I take my leave. Granddad, Nasir, album is cool. It's good, but it should have been great. It should have been phenomenal. 7 songs should have been all 100% fire, and it wasn't, so that's what it is. He's in the boat with Kanye to me. Not as bad as Ye. It's better than Ye, but it's just not what it should have been. And I'm kind of sad about it. I'm kind of disappointed, but it is what it is. I'm out of here.